Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Beyond the Shelves. Surprise! We're on video. We are bringing the podcast to you video today. So that's something new and exciting we're trying. Today we are going to talk about books that have themes of nature and the environment. I'll talk a little bit about how we came up with this actual theme a little later because it's kind of random how it came about, but we both have really exciting books to talk about. I really love the books that I chose. So we're going to talk about nature books.
And I'm excited that I'm talking about books about love of nature and not how humans wreck nature, which that was a little harder. So this was fun because usually I am all about how bad people are.
How bad people are for the earth.
But before we get to that,
yes.
What are you reading?
I'm listening to Lucky Day by Chuck Tingle.
Oh, yep.
And
that's not hitting because you usually
it's not my favorite, but it's like entertaining. It is about it's all his books have wackadoodle premises, but it is about the main character is Vera. She's a statistics professor, and there is this low probability event that happens, which is this day where 8 million people die in like absurd ways. We're talking about like giant fish falling from the sky, giant gorillas in like Shakespeare shirts, like hitting people with typewriters. I mean, wild. Like,
yeah, I didn't go wild enough.
Like crazy things happen and it kills a bunch of people, right? And so we see that day happen for Vera, and then it goes into like 4 years later, she's trying to like get her life back, but she's like just depressed and like doing nothing, and the secret agent knocks on her door and they're investigating this casino that they think has something to do with this low probability event, and that is kind of where I'm at right now. So it should be, I mean, it's good, it's not bad. I think it's just not like I'm not like, you know how when you listen to an audiobook and you just want to listen to it like every second of the day, this isn't it. I'll be like, maybe I'll listen to my podcast, and so, but I'm gonna finish it because I like it. It's just not my fave. I think Zach read it. I feel like
he did.
I think that he had kind of the same vibe according to his Goodreads review.
Not to stop more your husband than I do about my husband's reading tastes. I did know he read this,
but anyways. And then with my eyes, I'm reading Bog Queen by Anna North, which I really liked. Outlawed by Anna North. That came out a while ago.
I keep using it as like a new Western when I show people around, and it's like a 2019 book, I think. I got to stop using it.
It's definitely pre-pandemic,
yes,
I think. But anyways, I can't tell you much about this book because I literally just started it. An American forensic anthropologist goes to England to like investigate this body they found in a bog that's completely preserved, like perfectly preserved. And they think it's one person, but it turns out it's like thousands of years old. Oh. And that's like really where I'm at. I believe it is a 3 narrator story. So there's Agnes. I think you get the dead person. And then like a druid. Like, so like we go back. We go back. Which I just started the druid chapter. So I still kind of don't know what's happening. And the publisher weekly review, it said part of this novel's thrill comes from the way in which North leaves the rest of the mystery for the reader to piece together. And that's how I feel. I kind of don't know what's going on. I don't know what this body is about, but I'm interested and I'm intrigued.
So do you think it's going to end with like an open-ended...
I hope not.
Me too, for your sake. And also for mine when I ask you about this later.
But it looks so far it's been really good. I haven't had a ton of time to read because I just moved. So I like reading with my eyes is like definitely like, I've been listening to more audiobooks, but those are the 2 I'm reading right now.
So I was trying to read these books for the podcast up to like yesterday. So I just started 2 books. The one I'm reading with my eyes is a teen graphic novel.
I love a teen graphic novel.
Called Flip by Ngozi Ukazu, who wrote Check Please. This is her newest one.
We love Check Please here. This podcast loves Check Please.
Check Please stands. Yes. So I was really excited. This one is very different. It's about 2 people. So the girl has a crush on this boy, and then due to karma, a witch, incantation. We'll find out, or we won't.
Time will tell.
They switch bodies.
Mm.
The girl and the love interest, the crush. And so right now I'm like in the middle of it. They keep going back and forth for longer periods of time. So it's a little bluest eye to it as well.
Okay.
And they're like, and she's African American and he's white. So there's also this like racial structure as well, like going into a different body of someone who's a different color and
wild.
a different race and a different gender and all that sort of stuff as well. It's very well done per usual. It still has the cuteness of Check Please, but I'm about halfway through it, so I don't know. Right now they have no idea how to stop it, but they have to get it done before the K-pop concert that she wants to go to.
Love. And it's called Flip?
It's called Flip.
Okay.
Both for the flipping bodies and the male main character his nickname is Flip.
I will be adding this to my TBR.
You should. It's very cute. It's very cute.
I love a good graphic novel. Also because like I've been in such a reading slump.
Oh yeah. And
that my reading goal, like I'm behind. And so graphic novels are a great thing to boost that because you can read those a little quicker. Yeah. So
and then I just started listening to Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid, which I will read anything by TJR. And this one is no different. It does this thing which I hate, but I love, where like they start at the end. And then a chapter later, it's like 4 years earlier. And I was like, no!
Yeah, I don't like that either.
So it's already got me a little choked up. I don't even know who these people are. So, by the end, I'm going to be crying.
I had, I think, an ebook copy of that I checked out from the library. And I started it. It didn't catch me. And so I put the audiobook on hold. I was like, well, I'll try that next.
In the audiobook, so there's two narrators. I've forgotten one, but the other one is Julie Whalen. So, it's
going to be good. It's going to be a good audiobook.
I ended up getting that through Libro FM because I was like 112th for the audiobook. And I was like, can't wait this long. I've already waited long enough.
I know. I did that actually. That's what I've been doing a lot with my books aren't hitting, nothing's like really working, is that I was so excited to read We Love You, Bunny, which is like the Bunny sequel. I literally just reread Bunny. I loved that book and I got like 25% through the audiobook and I was like, no.
You didn't finish? Because we talked about this.
And then I put the physical book on hold. Okay. And I was like, well, I'll try it that way.
Yeah.
And that's like the same thing that happened with Atmosphere. I was like, but backwards. So.
Because I know you were really excited for that book.
I really was. And I'm sure it's good. My review is, that is like a soft DNF, as we like to say. Like a soft put down. Like I will return to it. It wasn't it for me. Anyway.
And maybe it's just like, mood reading. It just wasn't the right time.
Old mood reading. It's my lifetime problem. It's the worst.
It's probably better than the power through, which is and then you get done and you're like, oh, I hated this.
And I won't do that.
And like, maybe I wouldn't have hated it if I just would set it down.
I refuse. I don't understand why people read books. It's fine. Everyone has their own.
I love you're like, I don't understand. It's fine.
I know. I was like, I shouldn't shame people for reading books that they don't like. But like, there's so many books. Just put it down. Pick up another one. I do it like 5 times a week. Like if this was really like, what have you been reading? I would have like 15 books on here. So
I'm on page 3 of this and 24 of
that.
And
I will say I did read Heart the Lover by Lily King in my moving era when I was moving, and I absolutely loved it. It was so beautiful. It was like perfect literary fiction. I cried through the last half. I loved her book Writers and Lovers, and I love this one just the same. So I feel like I should say something positive about the books that I've read or are reading. So I'm excited. I loved that one. So it's not like a total slump, just a light slump.
Just a light slump.
But I have a pretty hefty TBR right now too. Like 3 I'm super excited about.
Yeah, so let's hear about them.
So the first one was just like the premise immediately. I was like, absolutely. It is called Crafting for Sinners, and it is by Jenny Kiefer. And it is just about a queer woman who has to fight her way out of a big box craft store run by a diabolical religious cult. And it's like survival horror. Like, name a book that's more me. Like,
but see, and we're like, I think I would read that book.
Yeah, it's like a big box crafts. So it's like, it's probably what's Hobby Lobby coded is what I would say. A big box craft store.
We can call it a Joann's because it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, but It's just really funny. I'm very excited about that. I have a physical copy of that. I'm really excited to read Minor Black Figures by Brandon Taylor. He wrote Real Life, a couple other books. Real Life was his first book. He's went to Writer's Workshop, lived in Iowa City. I don't think lives there right now, but Real Life it's in Iowa City, like the setting is. But anyways, Minor Black Figures has gotten like really good reviews. It looks like it's pretty like slow, contemplative literary fiction.
Oh no, people
Your
can
favorite.
like see me now when I make these faces at you.
Your favorite. Like it's just pretty observational. It's about a Southern Black man a painter who moves to New York and meets this man, and I think it's mostly just like their conversations about like race and art, and I think there's a little bit of like what it means to be a Black artist and like how your work is perceived that way, like as like your race is perceived as your work, and it just looks really good, and one of my favorite reviewers loved it, so I'm really excited about that one. And then my third one is All of Us Murders by KJ Charles. And it literally just sounds like a spooky gay Knives Out.
Yes.
Like, so I'm here for that.
It has a great cover.
Excellent cover. It's like that old school gothic throwback.
Yes.
Like, why aren't more romance I mean, it's not romance, but why aren't more covers like that? I loved it. So that one I have on hold too. I think that will be a really good like immersive.
Yeah.
And immersive is always...
And I love KJ Charles.
Good for me.
Who normally writes romance. And I think there's a romantic
aspect
subplot to that one. But yeah, but it's
I
not
actually
romance.
don't know how we cataloged it.
I'm not sure either. I have it on hold.
Yeah. Pull up the holds list. I know. I've never read KJ Charles. I know the books, but I've never read.
Yeah,
so.
no, I really like KJ Charles.
Yeah, what's on your TBR?
Very different books.
What? No.
Huh? What? The first one... so different is Little Woodchucks by Nick Offerman. In case you're wondering how different we're going.
I love that though.
It's technically
he was just here.
Yes, it's technically a children's nonfiction, but it's like teaching kids how to use like carpentry tools.
I love that.
And I was like, I also don't know how to use carpentry tools, so this is definitely not for me and not for my 3-year-old. I'm very excited about it.
I love Nick Offerman.
I recently bought a circular saw. I can now make long boards into shorter boards.
I love that for you.
I'm really excited. I thought this was the perfect next step.
That book looks great. I mean, I love him.
Yes.
Like he's written multiple books. It's not his first one.
I almost picked. I'm blanking on the title, but one of his books for the nature books we are going to be talking about. His face on the cover.
Yep,
talks about nature.
I can see it. Maybe the word canoe is in the
or
title.
Paddle. We're really good at
great
our job,
librarians.
Guys.
We are great librarians.
Anyway, but the other one on my TBR, because I bought it because I can't walk into an indie bookstore and not buy something, and I was at Nook in Cedar Falls a couple weeks ago.
I've never...
It's a fairly new, at least, okay, I say fairly new. I went to college in Cedar Falls 10 years ago and have been back for the first time since I graduated.
So it's new.
So it's new.
Yeah.
New to me. And I bought Soul Searching by Lila Sage, which also has a fun throwback cover.
I mean... I'm in my Lila Sage
I know
era.
you are.
Like, I have that on hold, too. I picked up a hot title copy of it, but I put it down because, as I said. But
so if you read Lila Sage before, as we've talked about, her last series was Westerns, and this is more of a spooky paranormal. I did not write anything down about it.
I think it has a Western vibe still, from what I can tell. Like, it's not completely, like, I don't know if there's a ranch involved necessarily, and it's not in that universe. No, it's not in, like, the Rebel Blue
universe
series, so it's not in that, but I'm really excited to read it, too.
Yes. I think it's perfect. I mean, you're going to hear this in November, but we're recording in October, so it's perfect for spooky season for me because, as we've learned, I don't do scary.
Yeah, that's not a scary book.
No, it's a romance that may or may not have a ghost. It's perfect.
Yeah. Well, I'll be excited to hear it.
Yeah,
I'll be awaiting that review that I see you post.
Which is usually just like, I liked it. That's like, those are my reviews. I give terrible reviews.
I always have like one or two sentences on books I feel really strongly about on Goodreads. Other than that, you just get my stars. Yeah. And same with Storygraph. So, but so we're going to talk about books about nature and the environment today. And how this came about is because, and I kind of want to talk about this because we're going to talk about a very library specific thing right now.
Yes.
Is that at the Franklin Avenue Library where I work, we are creating what we call neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the neighborhoods that we were working on is nature. And so I came across all these cool books while I was working on that neighborhood. And that's kind of how this theme came to be. But what is a neighborhood, you may ask?
Everyone is dying to know.
Everyone's dying to know. So a neighborhood is like, in a library is really, I would say, like patron-centered browsing. Like a patron-centered like approach to browsing, where it brings different Dewey categories together, or different Dewey numbers together under one umbrella. Because the Dewey Decimal System
has its flaws.
Has a lot of flaws. But like it kind of helps you. So like if you go into a library and you're looking for a book about crafts, instead of going to the computer and looking up knitting books and seeing what the call number is and going to the call number on the shelf, you would go to the crafts and hobby section, and that would bring all of the craft books together, because knitting is in the 700s in Dewey and sewing is in the 600s in Dewey. So like all of that stuff isn't naturally together. There are some subjects that are naturally together.
Yeah.
But I think crafts and hobbies is a good example. Yes. We have like a cooking neighborhood. But yeah, I just think it's a really fun way to make it easier for people to. It's more of a bookstore model.
Yeah, even bookstore. It's gonna be more like that.
Yeah.
And more of our branches. I can't speak for every branch, but half of them, more than half of them, at least, have a smattering of neighborhoods.
Yep. And they're like all, and they're mostly, some of them are the same, some of them are different, because our 6-branch system does kind of function a little separately in that way. So like my favorite ones at Franklin, I love our cooking neighborhood, and that gets like the most traction. We have such trouble weeding that section because everything checks out. Like every single book in that section checks out, which is, it's intense if you know how many books that is. I should have had the number. I'm really excited about this nature neighborhood we just made. I was all about crafts and hobbies. That was really exciting neighborhood. And then at Franklin, like gardening was really, and we have a lot of gardeners. Our patrons are big time gardeners. So most of the gardening books are technically together on the shelf, but with a shiny label and a sign, maybe more people will notice them.
And on ours is a little different. We are so big that if you go up to just the nonfiction, you're looking at thousands of books. So even though they are together, it's so much easier to find them. Yeah. Now that we've pulled out the neighborhoods.
Yeah. And like travel,
that's like my cute little travel section.
Yeah, like I love having the travel section, and as we're kind of approaching, it's a little intense because you have to pull the books out of the section and label them and change their collection and put them somewhere else, because at Franklin, at least, we have to shift the whole collection before we put them back. So things are kind of in weird places right now at the library. We're always happy to help you find it, of course, if you ask at the desk. But I'm really excited. We're almost done, and I'm super excited with like our main push of nonfiction neighborhoods. And I'm so excited to be able to like make a map and like educate people. But it is funny, like, you know, people will come up and be like, oh, I didn't realize there were all these different books about this topic. And I don't know, it makes my little collection heart happy.
Do you want to hear the only feedback I ever got while we were moving our neighborhoods around?
I do.
So I was in crafts and hobbies grabbing stuff as a woman was browsing, and she said, and I explained to her what we were doing, and it was really so great, and her response was, but you can always move it back, right?
No,
ma'am.
This is a lot of work.
2 years and a pandemic. I am not putting this stuff back.
Oh man, I love it.
Only feedback we've ever gotten.
We've already gotten pretty positive feedback. But,
good,
you know, like Franklin patrons are readers.
Yes,
they are browsers, and that is like why, like one of our biggest push to this is like just making it easier to come to the library. And I should have, just to be clear too, like once you're in the crafts and hobby section, it is still organized by Dewey.
Yes.
So like you can find something by looking it up on the computer using the call number and going to that section. So it doesn't like if you're a Dewey Decimal System purist, you can still do that. But I feel like it's just a fun way to highlight your collection, really, or like highlight different collections. So
I was gonna make a really niche library joke. I was like, but what if you're a cutter person? That's like gonna hit nobody.
No.
Nobody's gonna enjoy that joke.
Nope. We're doing poetry right now, and let me tell you, those cutter numbers.
We've now lost our entire audience.
They're like, boring. So that's kind of like how this came about, and I thought it would be fun to talk about like neighborhoods. It's something that I don't know if a lot of patrons know about, or like I don't think other than just like the travel section has been around, I think, in a lot of our branches for a while. That's like one of the earlier ones, but it's just kind of something I don't think a lot of people know about, and it's been fun to make like our labels are all color coded. So they're all like aesthetically pleasing, which is, I love that. So
funny because all of ours are just like block letters, white, black.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
I know. I'm
just kidding. It does help when you're like, it helps sorting them out when you're like checking in books. But yeah, it's just a really cool thing. So that's why we started talking about nature books, because I found cool nature books when I was making that section. And we also realized that we talk about fiction books a lot. And if we're talking about nonfiction, especially me, it's literally just memoir and essay collections, which is basically the only nonfiction that I read. So we wanted to find a topic that was nonfiction. I read so little
nonfiction. So
it's just not
this was good for me.
Yeah, it's true. So, let's see. First book. You want to go? You want me to go?
I can go.
Okay. What's your first book?
My first book is Upstream by Mary Oliver.
Oh, Mary.
So Mary. Mm-hmm. I picked this because I'd never read a Mary Oliver before. I've seen like videos of her reciting her poetry. I'd seen like snippets and memes and stuff of people using like lines from her stuff, but I'd never like sat down and read it. I still haven't technically. I've read like 30.
You skimmed it?
No, I've read like 30%.
Okay.
And then we had to record. Here we are.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm reading it slowly because I'm enjoying it, but I like reading them kind of like an essay at a time. Mm-hmm. And I also needed to read 2 other books before this podcast.
Fair.
But I'm enjoying it. Upstream spans about 20 years of her work. It's not all new stuff. It was all brought together for this book. And it's a kind of a contemplation of both artistic labor and nature, which I think is kind of really beautiful that that's all wrapped together for her. She can't have one without the other.
No.
Which is probably true for a lot of artists.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I'm reading slowly and reflecting on it. I was also reading another book in between, which is why this book isn't done.
Do you like? I've read a lot of her poetry, and like there's, some iconic Mary Oliver poems.
Yes.
Do you think it's different than her poetry?
It's very different. It's not at all what I expected when I picked up her essays. These are a little more grounded, I think, than her poetry is. Not in a bad way, just different. Mm-hmm. I started out reading it, and then I've been kind of going back and forth reading it and listening to it. And she grabbed other authors and poets to like read her work, which I thought was really interesting. So I don't recognize the narrators. So it's not what I expected. So I don't think it's good or bad, but it's just different than I expected.
Yeah.
But definitely it's also something like you do want to sit outside and read it like with her. And I just got done before this podcast reading one about her sitting at the pond and looking at the birds and talking about the different migration of birds. And I was like, well, now why am I not sitting at a pond and pretending to be a rock like she is? And so
instead of working,
going to work, it's fine. It is such a beautiful day out today, though.
It is.
Yes, but I was going to say one more thing about it, but no, I was going to say that also it is a little bit different than some of the other nature books I feel like we're going to talk about, because it's not so much about nature, but about her place within nature.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like knowing who, like the type of poetry she writes. It's not like teaching you something about nature, which 2 of my 3 books are are informational, if
yes,
you will.
yeah. And so I think it's also remembering that we are a small part of nature as well. It's not just learning about it, but being within it, which I thought was really important and why I wanted to talk about this book.
I love it. I'm going to check it out.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have it checked out right
now
because it's right there.
It's right there, and you brought
it. So, shocker, I'm going to talk about a book about plants.
Ooh.
I picked up The Light Eaters by Zoe Schlanger. And so I am a plant nerd. I'm not an outdoor plant nerd, but I am a house plant nerd. Trust me, I moved them all recently. I have a lot of plants, and I've always just, like, really loved to, like, nurture plants and, like, kind of watch them grow. It sounds lame, but it's just, it doesn't sound lame.
No.
It doesn't.
No.
I like plants.
Yeah. You can keep yours alive. Good for you.
I can. A lot of them. But I've always, like, been fascinated by that, like, hidden life of, like, plants. Which is weirdly, I have 2 books where we kind of get into the hidden life of things. But this one sounded so interesting, and it is, it just kind of talks about all the capabilities of, like, the green plants around us, and I like that it's kind of it's a popular science book. So it does it in a very, like, I also have not read all of this, but I've read some of this. It does it in a very, like, lyrical way that's, like, not super science-y, and maybe not always 100% backed by, like, strong research necessarily. Yeah. But it's really cool when you think about, like, how flowers will grow in the shape of, like, their pollinators' beaks, or, like, there will be, like, plants that can hear water and will, like, grow towards water, and, like, just, like, really cool things like that, like the creativity, which is funny to call plants creative, but, like, the creativity it takes to, like, have that type of, like, biodiversity. I just think it's, like, so fascinating. And this book covers all different types of plants. And it just has, like, really opened my eyes already to, like, plants are smart. Like, they're not, it's just, I think one of, like, I talk about reviews a lot, like, and one of the reviewers was like, oh man, I'm vegan, and now I'm like, ugh. Yeah. I was like, what can I eat? But it also talks about, like, your own, like, your place in the natural world too. Not just, like, what do plants need from us, and what do we gain? Like, we need plants to survive on the planet. So, yeah, it's a really interesting book so far. So, yeah, The Light Eaters. Also a cool name.
Yes, and it is I can see. I was like, it's a pretty cover. I can actually see it. We talk about it sometimes.
Cover. So I'm briefly into that one.
Okay.
I don't know if I'll get all the way through it because it's nonfiction, but so far it's really interesting. Yeah. So
you're learning something new.
Yes.
Which is always nice. So I'm gonna do a bit of a turn. Another Mary. Fuzz by Mary Roach.
I love Mary Roach.
She's funny. She's known for doing her micro histories, so histories on very small topics. So Fuzz is about the animals' interactions with humans, which is kind of a flip side of what I normally read, which is humans' interactions with the planet. Mary Roach is also known for doing stuff like Gulp, Stiff.
Stiff was, like, her, I think, the biggest one.
Yeah, that's the other one I've read, which is about cadavers.
Yeah, which was absolutely fascinating.
Yes.
I remember being like, what?
What?
But, like, not just, and really, like, I think she's such an accessible writer.
Yes, and she would be considered popular science as well, but everything she has is very much backed by research too, but not in a dry way. I feel like it could easily get really dry. And she's very funny. I audiobooked her, and she's the narrator, and for whatever reason, the footnotes for this are at the end, which I think is an odd place to put them in an audiobook.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter. I listened to 20 minutes of her, just, like, her footnotes, because it was just, like, weird.
Like, fun facts.
Fun facts. Yeah. But this book is about animals' interactions with, like, humans, and what do you do about them. And she talks about, the book starts with old cases in which, like, in the 1600s and 1400s, 1600s, people would actually bring, like, bears to court, or, like, rats to court.
Love it.
And you could tell it was just to, like, save face. Like, obviously, like, you can't hand a rat a cease and desist.
No. Mm-mm.
He's just going to eat it.
Yep.
But they're like, look, the judge did something about it. And it goes from there to talk about different ways that animals, from the really dangerous killings all the way to, again, non-native species overriding like islands. She talks about in New Zealand when colonizers came and then brought like deer because that's what they hunted back in England, and trying to get rid of these non-native populations. All that sort of stuff. Mooses jaywalking.
Does she bring up Grizzly Man?
No, she does not.
I was just curious. I feel like that's like a famous like man-animal interaction. Like not doesn't end well.
Yeah, no.
But I was just curious if like that was brought up at all. But yeah.
My favorite was she talks about macaques, which are a type of monkey, ape, monkey, doesn't matter, and how it's just so different from our like environment and our ecosystem here in Iowa that they're just like around stealing food, just hanging out. And there's like certain countries like the pull down doorknobs, like the L-shaped ones are like illegal to put in because those animals know how to open them. Or like so it's very funny. Each chapter is about a different animal. It also reminded me a bit on the flip side. I'd read a book called Crossings by Ben Goldfarb, which is all about, it's kind of another micro book about exactly what it sounds like, creating like overpasses and stuff for animals. I think I've talked about it on the podcast before.
Yeah, like creating like natural ways for animals to get across like big
highways. Because one of the chapters here specifically talks about deer in the headlights and how animals at a certain speed threshold can't decipher, including humans, like how fast something is coming, or children. Once you become an adult, you have a better idea. But like it's why children often cross the street when there's very obviously a car coming, because they can't once it gets past a certain speed, they can't differentiate anymore, which is why you end up hitting deer. And why they like to stop, because they think they can cross and they can't, or they cross way later than they should. It's like, just cross the street, because they can't. They don't know how.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
learning new things every day.
I know, this is so fun. See, this is what happens when we read nonfiction.
Yeah, we learn things.
We all learn. Nah. Anyway, that's fuzz.
Yeah. I love Mary Roach. That's like always been. It's a book I've thought about. I thought it was about national parks.
Oh.
Just because of the cover.
Because it's got like the patch.
Yeah. And so I love that I now actually know what the book is about.
And what's weird, I don't think she goes to a single national park because she works with the National Wildlife Research Center a lot, which, fun fact, is not like is there for the humans, not for the animals. So it's like to keep animals. It's for ag. Essentially.
Yeah. Which is about right.
Yeah. So that was, it's interesting to try that she was working with people who weren't not necessarily looking for like the best interests of animals along the way. But highly recommend. Very funny, very easy to get into.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, it was great.
Another Secret Life of book is what it's my next one. It's called Entangled Life, and it's by Merlin Sheldrake. I love that author's name, by the way.
Yes.
Merlin Sheldrake is just an iconic name for a scientist.
I'm like looking at the cover, but please tell us what
So Entangled Life is how fungi make our world change our minds and shape our future. So it's about the secret life of fungi.
Of course, a man named Merlin is going to be talking about mushrooms.
And it talks about, I think the coolest thing about this book, it is more science-y. So be prepared for that. There's a few, there's diagrams involved. So it's a little more heady, but also like super fascinating. Like they can solve problems and they don't have a brain. Like that's like fungi can solve a problem without a brain. Like that's just like wild. And it's useful in so many different like factions of our life, like medicine, technology, like there's all these ways that you can use, fungi. And so it just kind of like, it talks about all those secret ways, and it's not secret, but all the ways you don't know about.
Yeah, secret to us.
Secret to you. All the ways that like you don't know about. So it's like, and I think it's another one like with the light eaters, it's like if you understand more about plants or fungi, then you're going to understand more about how the world around you works, and like how the planet functions. And I just think it's interesting. And medicine, that's a huge one. It talks a lot about the ways that it is like revolutionized medicine that things I just did not know about. And not just in the way of like, like magic mushrooms, which are used medicinally as well, but like more just like the different like tech, not I don't know the best way to say it. But like just all the different ways that fungi is used in actual like prescription medicine. So yeah, I think it was really interesting, and what I read so far, I really liked it, and I think it's really fascinating look into a world I just did not know anything about. I know, I know about plants. I did not know about fungi. I'll tell you that. And it did kind of like freak me out a little bit. Like
how much
they
you
can
don't
solve
know.
A problem without a brain. Like what? That's crazy to me. But then I guess like with the light eaters, like plants adapt and change, and I just really I liked learning about the secret things that happen that I didn't know about. So,
and this idea of like you don't know what you don't know, I was like, oh, how much I really don't know about plants or fungi or
I had no
macaques.
Idea. No, or macaques. But yeah, this is a fun read. I started this one too. I'm probably will not read all of it. It's a little longer and more nonfiction-y than I generally like. But I think if you have any interest in this topic at all, I think it's really well done, and I think it's really a cool. Like I've learned things already off the bat. So yeah,
awesome. Okay, I have one more.
Yep.
Leave Only Footprints by Connor Knighton. This is kind of another. I didn't mean to do this, but now that I'm thinking about this, is another one in which humans' place within nature more than the secret life of nature. This is about Connor. He has this really terrible breakup and decides in that haze of heartbreak that he wants to go visit all 53 national parks.
Okay.
And I also listened to this one as an audiobook. This was a couple years ago. And he does it. But what I liked about it is the chapters are split up into different themes, and some of them are like volcanoes, and then he visits all the, he talks about all the volcano ones he visited, but some are like mystery, God, food, and he talks about both his love of national parks and how important they are, and he matters in his own like personal stories. So it's a little memoir-y in there as well. And what I liked about it too is he also touches on the fact of the lack of diversity you see in national parks, both visitors and staff, as well, which I think is really important to remember. I love national parks. We live in the Midwest, so there are none near us.
No.
I went to Acadia recently, though. One of the most beautiful things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But it did take us 3 hours to do a hike. I thought it was going to take us an hour. I'm not in shape.
You just weren't prepared.
I wasn't prepared. And also, to be fair, we stopped at, if you like Google Acadia National Park, there's this beautiful beach. And the pictures do not do it justice. We probably spent a half an hour just like staring out at the Atlantic, just looking.
Yeah.
My poor husband was like, "We need to keep walking." I was like,
"Keep going."
I was like, "No, can we please?"
Yeah, there's so many.
I love water.
There's so many beautiful national parks.
Yes,
and like, yeah, I haven't been to as many as I would like for sure.
Yes,
but
yeah. But yeah, so it's just his journey, both of like healing and seeing all the national parks. And I think it's a really good, if you've never been to a national park, you love national parks, but you like, and some of them are so remote that I know I will probably never get to get an idea of each park as well without being able to actually be there. I really enjoyed it. And very accessible book because it's mostly memoir.
And did you say you listened to that?
I did.
Did you listen to it on Libby by chance?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
It might not still be there, but I will look.
Yeah.
Like that sounds like a really great audiobook.
Yes, it was a great audiobook. Yeah, I don't know if it's, but it's before I got into like Spotify and Libro FM for my other books. So it was on Libby when I read it.
At one point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
It's funny because the last one I'm going to talk about is a little memoir-esque as well. And it's called Something in the Woods Loves You by Jared K. Anderson. And it is like a blend of like memoir and nature writing and kind of explores the relationship between nature and our emotional and mental health. So it really talks about that a lot. It's written by a poet, and I love any prose, nonfiction, fiction that is written by a poet. That's always gonna call to me, like Hanifa Durkheim, Clint Smith. Like there's so many, especially actually now that I say that, really especially nonfiction written by poets is just generally really interesting and beautiful to me. And I didn't say this at the top, but I'm actually reading this one about halfway through, and it is catching my attention. I'm really into this one. But it kind of just like focuses on how like deliberate and meditative encounters with plants and nature help you kind of like see the light. He had quit his job in academia and was in a deep depression, and like each chapter focuses on a different like animal or part of nature, and kind of just like you read through how he kind of pulls himself out of it, and not just with nature to be clear. But it's just so beautifully written, and I just love that idea that like finding solace in places that you just kind of forgot to look. Like, we just get so like wrapped up in like, going to work, going home, making dinner. Like you're like, wait, maybe I could just like take a walk around the neighborhood and like look at the tree and how that would like actually make me feel a little better. It sounds like simple, but I just really love how he takes these like very simple encounters and relates them to like being happy and like making yourself feel better in general. And although it's like a heavy book because it does talk about depression, there are frequent like positive points. So I would say like it is, it does talk about depression. It is sad, but it's not like overwhelmingly sad, which is a good thing to know if you're going into a book like this, if you're not ready, mentally prepared for that. One of my, like someone I follow on Book Talk, and I always end up reading his reviews. His review of this book was that if I could quietly send all my depressed friends this book with a handwritten note that says "Love you, hope we can go for a walk soon," I would. And like that, I think that just like really sums up this book in a nutshell. And so I'm about halfway through, and I really like it so far. So yeah.
Oh, that sounds really nice.
And I also love that Something in the Woods Loves You is such a great title. A+ title.
Yes.
So
I don't know if I'd read it, but like, my heart wants to read it. Yeah. My brain is like, I don't know if you're ready for that book.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, let me know when
you're reading it right now. So I do actually have it checked out. So. But yeah, Something in the Woods Loves You. So those are our nature books. And yeah, I think it's interesting that our choices are really interesting to me because mine are more like The Secret Life of, and like yours are more like how people and nature interact.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny.
Which was not purposeful, but it's really funny that it all kind of worked out that way.
All right, book bulletin time.
Yeah.
It's time for the book bulletin.
We actually have things for the book bulletin today,
I'm actually really excited about
There's
the book
some
bulletin.
good stuff. The first one is pretty library specific, but the biggest distributor of books to library systems across the country, Baker and Taylor, has ceased operations. And so you, as a library patron, are definitely going to feel that. Yeah. We obviously have pivoted to other distributors. There are other ways to get books other than Baker and Taylor. But it is the main way that we bought books. Yes. So it's currently, I feel like we're in this like limbo of like, I don't know. I like saved all my carts and printed them off.
And talking, as of the last time talking to our like cataloging team, they still have not gotten like any sort of like messaging from Baker and Taylor. Like if it wasn't for the like news announcement, we wouldn't know.
And they laid off like all of their staff.
Yeah,
it's a bummer.
Yeah, that's why I think we don't know anything is because like our rep is probably no longer with Baker and Taylor.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how this shakes out. I've already seen articles about like certain school library distributors like stepping up and opening up their books to public libraries. And we have other companies that we order from. Unfortunately, I would not be surprised if Amazon got in the game somehow. Like, they have the lock, so it'll be really interesting to see. But if you notice that, like, the latest title is a couple days late, like the releases, like, it's very possible that is due to the shuttering of Baker Taylor. So far, so I'm seeing no delay.
No, me either.
But I wouldn't be surprised if that does happen in the future.
And I will say we're very lucky and privileged to be in a bigger library system that we can afford, because the other vendors tend to be more expensive.
Truly.
That we are still able to generally buy at the same rate we currently are. I know this is going to hit small and rural libraries really hard.
Yeah.
As they try to pivot to other vendors. So
it's a bummer.
I can't like stress enough like how big this is going to shake up the library world.
It's pretty big.
It's pretty big.
It's pretty big.
Like
all our physical books, not to be clear, all the like physical copies of our books are. Like that's where we shop when I'm like, oh, we need to replace this copy.
Yes.
You just go find it on Baker and Taylor.
Yeah.
And now, nope.
Yeah. So we'll see. I think they're not officially shuttered until January.
I think that's the case. Yeah.
Though we have been seeing issues with stock issues with them for months now. So we'd already kind of slowly pivoted, which is going to help us as well here at DMPL. So.
Yeah, so that's just big library news.
Big library news.
Maybe not exciting, but big library news.
But the next one's exciting.
Is it?
I don't know if it's exciting. It's very different than bigger closing.
Does everyone remember when we talked about the Jimmy John's Romantasy combination, where a brand partnered with like the popularity of Romantasy and made this whole story involving sandwiches?
Walton Goggins narrated.
So just keep that in your head, and then
all right, Hellman's and Jennifer L. Armentrout, who's known very popular romantasy author, does a vampire romantasy series. Her new book is out called The Primal of Blood and Bone, and now, thanks to Hellman's, you can get yourself a garlic aioli scented book.
Yep, folks, everything you ever wanted in a book, and also smells like garlic. Like, what?
At first I thought it was a joke, but I went through for you guys. I didn't buy it. I didn't go that far. But I did go all the way to ordering it. You can order the garlic scent for $31.99. You too can own
I'm
garlic
a
scented
little
book.
tempted. Like, I don't read her books. She's not an author I follow. I know a lot of people really love her stuff. Especially the romantasy world, but like, wow. You sent me that link and my response was, shut up. Like, that is not real. It is. Garlic scented books.
The one thing I'm most sad about, it's not about this book. So seeing this article did remind me of the Jimmy John's branding. And I went back to, which I never got that book. I bought a sandwich and I never got it. But anyway, I'm not bitter. But I went back to see if there's any like follow-up on the Walton Goggins audiobook, and there's nothing. So I'm hoping to get some more feedback on this garlic scented book. I'm probably get like very little.
Like, sprayed edges are one thing, okay? Like,
sprayed
I know
with garlic.
People love those like beautiful edges.
They're very big. It's very in
huge,
right now.
Huge right now. But a scented book?
I don't know.
Like,
is it going to make your entire house smell like garlic?
Who wants that?
It's going to make me smell like garlic?
I mean, I don't hate the mark. Like, I don't hate, it's like vampire book, garlic, but like, no. Anyways, garlic scented books.
I was so excited when I found this.
It's like the funniest thing.
I love that it's Hellman's too. I don't know why, of all the mayos, that's like the funniest
Hellman's
mayo.
and Jimmy John's are getting in the book game. I guess. Love.
Anyway, we can move on from this.
What's our next one? I can't remember.
Reading Rainbow.
Oh,
is back.
Reading Rainbow is back.
With Michael Threets now as the host.
Mm-hmm.
If you're on Book Talk or any sort of book, he's a very famous librarian on social media.
Mm-hmm.
So he is the new host of Reading Rainbow. It's not currently on PBS. It is on, you can watch it at readingrainbow.org or go to the YouTube channel called Kidzoku. I don't Kidzuko.
Okay.
But if you just Google like
You find it.
Reading Rainbow, you'll find it right away.
Mhm.
I think there's like 2 episodes up as of last checking on it. But yes, if you're that Gen X millennial who is missing your Reading Rainbow,
LeVar Burton.
and LeVar Burton.
What a great replacement, though.
I
Like,
know.
Michael's great. Have you watched any of them?
I watched the
You
first.
have a child.
No, I did. They're not great. Like she's a little too young for it yet. But I did watch the first couple minutes. I was like, maybe I can watch this with Evie. He's great. I only watched the first couple minutes. The first episode is about purpose. And then he's like, not porpoise, and then like a dolphin. Well, a porpoise obviously jumps over him.
I love that.
Anyway, so that's what I caught so far.
I like that it is a librarian who is the host because I think there's going to be, not that Reading Rainbow was anti-library by any means, but I think that there'll be a little, or like the original Reading Rainbow, but I think there'll be a little more focus on libraries, and I love that.
Yeah.
So very exciting. Butterfly in the Sky.
What, are you going to sing for us?
No, I'm not. Maybe. Nope, I'm not.
No.
I thought about it.
Yeah.
I'll take it back. Last but not least, really not like super. I feel like Garlic and then Reading Rainbow.
It's gonna be hard to top.
Gonna be hard to top, but we talked about Pagebound a couple episodes I think ago, which is yet another way to track your reading. And it was just a website at the time, but they now have an app. So, which is pretty seamless. I've been using it. I like Pagebound because it's pretty. It's very millennial coded. Like it's
I mean, I think it was built by millennials.
It was.
So it's both coded literally and figuratively for millennials.
But it's like, I like the different features that you can like see what people are commenting like as they're reading the book, which I think is kind of interesting as long as you're aware. They're really good about spoilers. Like, there's lots of good spoiler alerts. I like their shelving system a little better than Goodreads. And, Goodreads is... it's...
As of this podcast, it's not currently working.
Yeah.
So...
it's still I think Pagebound has a really good opportunity to really come in and kind of take over if people know more about it. So I'm telling you about it.
And they just made some updates yesterday. You could now pick the edition and format.
Okay,
that's a new one. You can so much like Storygraph, and then you can also like say how far you are in the book too. That's a new update.
Yep.
What I like about it as someone who likes to win.
Oh, yeah.
Is the badges.
Someone who likes to win. I forgot there were badges. See, I forgot there were badges. And I like to win, too. I prefer to be right instead of winning. But, like, if we're talking about fatal flaws here. But I didn't even notice they had badges. I love that.
Yeah. I have multiple badges, Jess.
Obviously you do. Maybe I do, and I just don't even know.
No, you gotta, like... say you want the badge.
Got it.
And then you gotta get the badge.
Yeah.
And you win the badge.
On that note, Sarah has won all the badges.
Every single one.
On Pagebound. Check it out.
Yeah, it's great.
Thanks everyone for joining our first video podcast. We will be back next month. I don't know what we're gonna talk about.
Probably best of.
Oh yeah.
'Cause it's December.
It'll be December. We're gonna talk about our favorite books of the year.
Yeah.
And nope, no spoilers. I won't tell you my favorites already. Okay, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.